Spice Divas, the marketing diva.
Y'all, welcome back to RedLip Talk Podcast. It's your girl, Spice Divas, the marketing diva, and I'm so excited about this episode. We are on episode 88. Can you believe episode 88? RedLip Talk Podcast with New Orleans Talk Network. We are on episode 88, and I'm so excited. We have a special guest in the building with us on today.
Hello.
We have Akasia Lee-Nicholas with us on today of Akasia's Café.
That's right.
And we are live on location at 5600 Westbank Expressway where she cooks these amazing soul foods and so much more. Some salads and things like that.
Burgers.
But before we get into her great interview, I want to just tell y'all a few updates of what's going on RedLip Talk Podcast. Y'all, don't forget, okay, we're going to say this episode is brought to you by Akasia's Café. So we, I'm just one of those things, bro. That's right. So this episode today is brought to you by Akasia's Café. And I just want y'all to know that Spice Divas Beauty Bar is always looking for stylists, as well as we're always booking. You can book your girl Kree. And I'm excited about what I have to announce. I'm not going to announce it right now. I'll do it on next episode. But my senior services slot is filled up. I will be at a second location, and I'll let you guys know about what location I'm going to be at. I'm going to be servicing over 62 units of seniors, myself doing hair. So Spice Divas Beauty Bar will be inside of that location.
Wow.
So that is such amazing and exclusive. I thank God for it.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to give back to the seniors because that's my ministry of giving back. Like you were saying about what you do.
Seniors,
So I love giving back to them. So I'll let y'all know where I am soon. Once everything is finalized. It's already finalized. I got the finalization today, but you want to make sure before you announce.
Correct.
Okay. So don't forget to go back and watch the last episode, which was a special episode about the Shiro Fest. And then we're going to get into that. You got a Shiro too. But we was in the Shiro Fest where we interviewed all type of entrepreneurs, pastors, things like that, business owners. If you go and see those interviews, you will be amazed. So go and watch our last episode, episode 87, where you guys can watch all the Shiro interviews. Another thing I want to talk about in this segment is that, what you feel about this. I'm going to include you on this one. What you think about Bishop T.D. Jakes? He has announced on Sunday that he is retiring as lead pastor at the Potter's House, and his daughter and son-in-law will take over. What you think about
amazing.
You think that's amazing?
I think it's going to be amazing. Sarah is definitely anointed.
Yes.
I watch her all the time, and I get chills just watching her.
Yes.
I've been at the Potter House several times, heard her speak. So I think that's a good thing.
You think that's a good thing?
I think that's a good
thing. And it's probably his time to retire and stuff like that.
Exactly.
He has poured into so much. And some people won't take it and spin it as a negative spin, like because of what's going on with the P. Diddy stuff.
I'll just say Genesis 50:20.
Let's go.
What the devil meant for evil, God has already worked it out for good.
Yes.
And again, who are we to judge? Okay.
Who are we to judge?
Who are we to judge?
And then he's smart about it because he's like, I'm moving forward.
Yes.
Y'all talking about what we doing, but we steady moving forward.
Yes.
We steady moving forward. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put in my daughter and my son-in-law.
Exactly.
His head.
Exactly.
And whoever believes in me, they gonna stay with me. Whoever don't, they gonna go.
And if they go, they never were meant to be there.
They was never meant to be there.
Never meant to be there.
We was talking about, I was listening to something, and we're gonna get into that, like about the prodigal's son. And I was listening to my person, I listened to Eric Thomas, and he was saying how you gotta make sure you have the right people with you.
All the time.
Because when you go through things, sometimes the people you think gonna be there for you, hurry up and flee.
Have you been following me as a ghost?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm just asking because that is the same words I just shared with someone this morning.
Oh.
I did.
The people who you think gonna be there for you.
And I also said that on my podcast that I did with Patrice.
Yeah.
On
This
yesterday.
the third one. This is the third one.
Yeah, this the third one. I probably stated on all of them because it's truly a part of my testimony.
Okay.
You know, when you in a position where you have everybody that flocks to you, and then you have a situation, and then you find out who's really for you and who's really not. And it's normally the ones that you would think not be there for you are there for you.
Are there for you. That's an amazing thing, because you're right. When you're in a position of influence,
Yes.
or you are in a position of power,
Yes.
or God has put something on you and anointed you to do things, that's true. The
Yes.
people that you think gonna be there for you are not are usually not there for you.
Yes.
So let's talk about the Mother's Day plans and what we have going on for Mother's Day. For me, you know, Mother's Day is coming up. It's gonna be next Sunday. I don't have too much planned. I don't know. I don't have a lot planned for this Mother's Day. What about you? Do you have something planned?
So for Mother's Day, we have our Shiro's event.
Okay.
It's an event that I've been doing for the past 5 years. This is our 5th year for mothers that have lost children. Because I lost my son, that is the way I give back to other mothers that experience this terrible loss.
Yeah.
Mother's Day and Christmas is when we do it. So this is our 5th year. We'll be here at the Café. It's open to the public. Any mother that has lost a child, we have a registration link, and they're more than welcome to register. Come out, take part with us. We eat. We have an amazing host, a phenomenal guest speaker, and we have food. You think you have food here at Akasia's Cafe? You ought to see what I do for my mothers.
Oh, wow.
Baby,
Wow.
you don't want to miss. Well, the mothers, Shiros, you don't want to miss. Let me make it clear. Mother's Day will be right here.
And you know what's amazing? I like that because, you know, I'll do a Shiro Fest, a conference, and then y'all Shiros with the dots on the end.
Yes.
And let's how God align things up. You guys have to meet so you can connect. So you can connect that with those mothers. Because that's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
Y'all guys have to meet. So we'll be back. But this is our segment 1, and we're gonna really get into Akasia and who Akasia is, and y'all gonna be blown away of who I have actually sitting with me today. And I'm not gonna sit on the couch because I'm at her location, Akasia's Cafe, 5600 Westbank Expressway, and we want y'all to come and taste this amazing food. But don't y'all go nowhere. It's your girl Spice Divas, the marketing diva, and you are listening to RedLip Talk Podcast. And I do a thing go like this, Akasia. Mwah! Yay!
Spice Divas, the marketing diva.
During times of family stress, if you need a church to hold your funeral services or a hall to hold your repast, you can contact us at Bethesda Community Event Center at 504-348-0132. We can accommodate all your repast and funeral needs, from a preacher to perform the services, to an organist that plays the music, the ability to stream it live for those who can't make it, and more. During your time of need, all of your arrangements can be made under one roof here at Bethesda Community Event Center. We're here to serve you. Give us a call when you're in need at 504-348-0132. Give your loved one a great homegoing event. Come second line at our center.
Hello, I'm Dr. E.Z. Smith, with the author of the book, Tripod in a Plastic Boat. I'm letting you know to please purchase this book. It's a great book. I listen to RedLip Podcast, the best podcast in the world. Please listen. And you can also get the book. Very good book, great podcast. God bless you.
Spice Diva, the marketing diva.
Here at Jones Insurance, your full-service agency, let us take care of all your insurance needs. We provide homeowners insurance, flood, rental, commercial, auto, and life insurance. Don't let the unexpected tragedy destroy your family's future. Here at Jones Insurance, 7603 Westbank Expressway, Monroe, Louisiana, 772. Contact Lois at 504-348-1492.
Spice Divas, the marketing diva.
Y'all, welcome back to RedLip Talk Podcast with your girl Spice Divas, the marketing diva. And you know it's episode 88, and I have in the building with me a special guest. And y'all want to hear her story, her testimony. If you're not following her, you would love to go follow. We have Akasia Nicholas, Lee-Nicholas.
Yes.
I gotta put that
Yes,
dash
yes,
on it.
yes, yes.
Lee-Nicholas in the building with us on today, and we are live on location. We are actually at Akasia's Cafe, 5600 Westbank Expressway, where all the delicious food and everything like that. And we're live here. I mean, I'm happy because I've been here to eat here a couple of times. You know, so I say, oh, I can't wait to get my plate when I leave you. Okay. All right, y'all. So before we get into our interview, I like to, read people bios so people can know. It is a lot of things when you know people, you don't know about them until you really read their bio. So I want to tell the people exactly who I'm sitting with on today. Okay, Akasia Lee-Nicholas, a native of Marrero, Louisiana, is the founder of Akasia Lee Global, which oversees her ventures, including Akasia's Café, Let Us Cater to You Catering, her autobiography, Out of Bounds, the networking group, the Culinary Queens and Kings of New Orleans, and the nonprofit crew of TCQNO and Sheroes. All her businesses are managed by ADN Enterprises. Akasia is a graduate of West Jeff High School in 1991. Holds an associate degree in healthcare management in 2009 and a bachelor's in small business management and entrepreneurship. Okay. In 2017, she is married to Willie J. Nicholas Sr., mother to Nairi Lee, and the late Devon Pete Christopher Lee. Deeply rooted in her community, she is a member of the Well International Church, Eastern Star. I had to ask that. Eastern Star, New Deborah chapter number 2, and the Jeff Cap Head Start Advisory Board. In response to the COVID-19 pandemic, she created a support platform for food and beverage entrepreneurs, which led to the formation of crew of TCQNO, the first parade on the West Bank of unincorporated Jeff Parish in 30 years. In 2/22/22. 2/22/22. That's an amazing number. Her journey from federal prison and personal loss to community leadership reflects her resilience and faith. Her motto is, no matter what you have been through, no matter what you're going through, you can live again. I love that motto. So let's talk about, I always ask people, what's their why? You do a lot in the community and things like that. I want to know about Akasia, where it started from as a young girl. Like, I like to bring people back. Why you do what you do.
So as a young girl, I always knew I would be a leader. I knew that. Again, I'll say when my mother worked for Jefferson Parish School Board, she would bring home desks and I would get like extra worksheets from my teachers, and I always wanted to teach. I would be in the garage and we had, sheetrock, some of it was dark. That was my chalkboard. So from there, I knew I wanted to be a leader. Then I said, once I go to school, I don't want to teach. I'm going to be a nurse because I want to help people. Always had a passion of helping and wanting to give back. So as my life changed, I grew up. I had a child that had a disability, so that led me more to gear towards passion and helping people. Because having a child with a disability is a whole different monster. Because you have to have complete focus on that disability. And the passion of wanting to help just allowed me when I would go to clinics and see people with disabilities. Some people could handle it, some people couldn't. So it just brought me to more of a full circle community-based person because of the people I was coming in contact with in the community at that time.
As a child, you did that caring nature. I know for me, I have the caring nature too, but it kind of came from somebody. Like you watch somebody being caring. So who would you say in your family?
My grandfather was a minister. My grandmothers on both sides were either like a mother of the church or very, very, high level in the church. So we always had a house full of people. Always cooking. So and then both sides of the family are big. So we grew up with that love for one another.
Yeah.
Now, what happened once we grew up?
Yeah.
Not that we don't have that love, but it's
But,
not
yeah.
like how when grandma and mama was here.
Yeah,
It's
they
totally
usually say when a grandma or the mama, you know, if they gone,
it's over with.
It's
over with.
yeah, they hold it together for some reason. As a saying with my family
Yes.
on my dad's side, with my grandma, just everything, just
Everything. Yeah.
But you got that caring nature from seeing
Mm-hmm.
someone else help the community. What is the first thing that you did as far as project for helping the community?
Helping people. So the first thing I did was always wanted to give back.
Yeah.
If I saw somebody that needed something, I have it.
Yeah.
Feeding people, just making sure that people I don't even know, if they needed this or needed that, I would give.
Yeah.
Such as what you saw today.
Yeah.
You know, so, I mean, it costs nothing to just be kind. It costs nothing to just give. However, don't take the kindness for weakness.
Don't take the good heart for weakness.
Yeah.
Don't take the good.
Yeah.
And that was a blessing what you did today. Like just a stranger just coming up, somebody needed to eat, shoes, food. People don't usually do that kind of stuff. They really don't.
No.
They really don't.
No.
I want to get into I want to talk to you about it, and we can go however you feel. That's just a free thing, you know. Like that's what I love about RedLip Talk podcast. It's not scripted or nothing like that. We just interview based on how we vibe. I want to talk about your baby, your son. Let's talk about him.
Okay.
About his life, about him, giving him glory, giving him honor, and about what happened to him.
So from birth, I knew he was special. He born on Mother's Day.
Yeah.
So that was special within itself. Being a young mother,
Tell the people his name.
his name was Devon. We called him Pete.
Yeah.
So I'm sure if you're watching, I know you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He was very, very popular. He was diagnosed with epilepsy at the age of 2. He went into the grocery store with my mom, and being a child, some type of way he turned around and fell out the basket.
Yeah.
So my mom got him home that afternoon, and he started like with convulsion. That's what the doctor said.
Yeah.
But lo and behold, as the years passed, and I traveled all over with him to different neurologists and specialists to figure out why is this happening? Why am I having to run in West Jeff Hospital with him in my hands 2 or 3 times a month? What is going on?
Yeah.
So finally, a doctor out of Slidell diagnosed him with epilepsy. Devon was seizure-free for 10 years. After going through different treatments, different hospitals, he was seizure-free for 10 years until Hurricane Katrina. When Hurricane Katrina came, the change of atmosphere, the stress, caused him to start having seizures again. And at the time, we had relocated to Texas. And from that point on, from 2005 until the time of his death, the seizures would come at different times.
Yeah.
Outside of the seizures, Devon was normal. He owned his own business at the age of 17, Fresh Society Clothing. He had a store in the Riverwalk. He came to me with a vision. One morning I was getting ready for church and he said, Mama, he said, I want a clothing line. So you're talking about somebody that is labeled as epileptic 1, 2, developmentally delayed because why? Because of the seizures and oxygen level to the brain, everything is not where it needs to be.
Yeah.
And I looked at him and I said, what are you going to call it, Pete? He said, I'm going to call it Fresh Society. And I said, what do you think about when you see Fresh Society? He said, Mama, I see a globe, I see faces, and the world is being held in God's hand. And that was his logo. Devin Johnson was the artist back in 2004 that drafted it out, and Fresh Society is his clothing line.
Yes.
And really looking forward to bringing Fresh Society back.
Yes. In honor of him.
In honor of him.
In honor of him. Yes.
Everything I do, I have 2 kids, Nia, but everything that I do is in honor of him.
Yeah.
Because my main goal and objective is to make it to heaven to see him, right?
Yes.
So if I live my life right and do right by people through him, I know what my purpose is. I know my why.
Yeah.
I know my why.
You know your why.
I know my why.
You know your why. You talk about that, your why, because that's the same like with my kids. That's my why. Why I get up every morning. I was blessed to have a boy and a girl as well too. And life is not as easy as you know, things are, and I can't even imagine losing a son and you still have the tenacity to keep going, to move forward, to still bless others. You know, some people will just crawl and just, you know.
Yeah.
That's why you do the organization that you do for mothers who have lost kids.
Yes, yes.
Some have lost them in violent ways.
Yes.
Some have lost them in sicknesses.
Correct.
But it's still a loss.
A loss is a loss.
It's still a loss.
And nothing would ever change that.
Yeah.
A loss is a loss.
So what made you come up with the foundation She Wrote for mothers who have lost their kids?
So I'll go back to the fact of the matter that Devon did live on his own. When he was 21, he said, Mom, I want my own place.
Okay.
And I'm like, boy, you ain't moving. But I had to let him go.
Yeah.
I had to let him be who he wanted to be.
Yeah.
And I had to trust the fact of the matter that God was in control of whatever the situation was.
Yeah.
Let him move on his own. He did well. He lived on his own. He had a couple of seizures. He had staff that worked with him. And the day before he passed away, I had him with me all day that day. We did deliveries. Something about him was just so different that day.
Yeah.
It was just different. And I kept saying on our way coming back, we was in Slidell delivering. I just kept saying,
I was delivering food and stuff. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
because you was catering.
yes. I said,
Yeah,
Pete,
yeah.
are you okay? Are you okay? He kept saying, Mom, I'm good. I'm good. But being a mother, the look that he had was just like a peaceful look.
Oh.
And I said, this boy gonna have a seizure on me while I'm driving.
Yeah.
Didn't happen that way. Got him home. We stopped at Rouse's, made groceries. He treated me to lunch, and that was something he would never, ever do. Treated me to lunch, dropped him off on Tuesday.
My 60-year-old.
And the next day, he was gone.
Yeah.
So after I lost Devon, it was definitely a shock. Because, of course, it was so unexpected.
Yeah.
And I'll just go straight through it. COVID hit, and that was my point where everything just stopped. Because once he passed on that Wednesday when they found him, I never stopped. Because I'm not going to say I was in denial, but it was not my real reality because he didn't live with me. So when I got home, I knew he wasn't going to be there. It was okay. We just didn't talk that day. But when President Biden said, you can't go outside, only essential workers, the world stopped. And that everything from that day came back to me. He was gone. And I had
you had time to really be inside and reflect
and
think
that mind.
When you were in them four walls and you were around
everything
and you
was
just
closing in.
looking.
I never forget, my husband came home one day because he was working for a company and he was considered essential. And I told him, I said, if you don't get me out of here, you ain't gonna find me when you come back. And in that one moment I said, I have a purpose, because Nia, that's my purpose.
Yeah.
And I got to pick myself up out of this darkness,
Yeah.
right? So I said, there has to be somebody that's dealing with the same thing as me. But I had admired a lady prior to losing my child. She lost her daughter. And the strength that this lady exemplified was amazing. So God had already put me in a sector where I could see someone maneuver through something that I thought I couldn't do. And I called her my Shiro. She lost her child in 2015. And years later, I lost Yvonne.
Yeah.
So I took that. I thought about what she went through, but I was still very, very angry because that was not, how could this happen to me?
Yeah, occasion.
So I said, I'm going to start doing things for mothers because this is our hardest time. People don't understand. If you haven't lost a child, you don't understand how I feel on Mother's Day.
Yeah.
You don't know how I feel on Devon's birthday.
Yeah.
You don't know how I feel from April 3rd all the way through May 10th when we celebrated birthdays together for 26 years.
Yes.
So I want to be with people that's like-minded.
Yeah.
Where we can hug each other, we can cry together, we can talk about things that made us laugh with our kids, things that made us cry, accomplishments, things that they wanted to do and couldn't.
Yeah. When other people might be tired.
Yeah, and don't want to hear it. What are they talking about? You should be over that.
Yeah, no.
So that's where the Shiros come in at.
Yes. I love it.
Yes.
We're going to take a break right now, but I don't want y'all to go nowhere because this interview is so heartfelt, as well as you have some great accomplishments that you have done, and it's going to inspire somebody behind that camera who feel like they can't move on for any obstacle that they have in their life.
I faced it all.
Yeah.
I faced it all.
Yeah. I got somebody in mind that I'm going to invite they probably need to be a part of Shiro. She doesn't live far from here.
Okay.
She just lost a daughter, and it was a year ago. It was unexpectedly. So it's an older daughter, but it's still a child.
Still a child.
And
She'll
she's
be
older.
100.
She's 75. So yeah, so it's still an older daughter. So when we come back, we are live at location at Akasia's Cafe, 5600 and we're at Westbank Expressway, and we are in Marrero, right?
Yes, Marrero,
Louisiana.
But the fellas be yelling.
Yeah, Marrero. I like that. Where the fellas be yelling.
Thank you, Paradise. You know.
So we are live here at RedLip Talk Podcast. It's your girl, Spice Divas. And don't y'all go nowhere. We'll be back in a second.
Alrighty.
Mwah. Mwah. That's all right. She hollering at her customers.
Spice Divas, the marketing diva.
A contractor is more than just a worker with a ladder on the back of his truck. Did you know that without a certificate of occupancy, you could not move back into your home? A contractor does more than just build or restore your home. He is responsible for making sure that all federal, state, and local regulations are met. Your general contractor has a professional designation. He is licensed, insured, and he is required to continue his education by state law, just like other professionals such as architects, engineers, and doctors. Let Step Construction be your licensed and insured general contractor, providing you peace of mind as your home is built or restored.
I'm your girl, Trisha. You're tuned into RedLip Podcast. Tune in at any time. You know, we can always keep it real, keep it gutter.
RedLip Diva, the marketing diva.
Like we said, people, we came through with it. Still Body is here. And we want to thank Dr. Kendra for her creation, helping people, loving people, and doing it through the area of healing. Dr. Kendra, you tell us, what is it doing?
It's changing lives all over the world, from here to Jamaica. We are excited. If you want results, get your Still Body today.
To get your bottle of Still Body, call Dr. Kendra at 504-237-4000, or you can call myself, Dr. Truth, at 504-416-5256. We are available to you. Text us if you have to, call us if you have to, but get in touch with us, because what you see here is for you, and we will make sure that you get it. Be blessed.
Bethesda House of Prayer. Bethesda is a church for non-traditional worshipers, a church designed for those who love God's Word. Would you like to attend a church where believers and non-believers can choose to worship together? A church where cultural differences does not get in the way of God's message. We invite you to be our special guest. Our services begin 9 a.m. on Sunday, located at 7601 Westbank Expressway, Suite B, Marrero, Louisiana. For more information, contact us at 504-348-0132.
What's up? It's Malcolm here with A1 Armstrong Care, the strong arm baby with the credit, and I'm here with RedLip Talk, and we went over some credit stuff. Reach me at 504-715-9348 with your credit questions. Follow me on Instagram, AC_credit consulting. We're going to get you right. We make sure we get those errors off.
RedLip Spice Diva, the marketing diva. Spice Divas, the marketing diva.
Y'all, welcome back to RedLip Talk Podcast with your girl Spice Divas, the marketing diva, and we are live today on site with Akasia at Akasia's Cafe. We have Akasia Lee-Nicholas in the building with us on today, and been having an amazing interview. Y'all, in between, she doing her customers, she coming back, she putting stuff on the grill, she's doing that. But I love it. And I hope before we get off, y'all can see an amazing plate that she has. And y'all know, because that food is good over here. And I like the way they do things neatly. Mm-hmm. You know how you go to some place and you get
everything just all sloppy.
Yeah, it's like, no, y'all do it neatly. Presentation is everything. It's everything. Yes. So before we left, we was talking about, the loss of your son, Pete, the loss of him, and how you overcame that, and how everything hit you suddenly during COVID.
Yes.
That's when everything hit you as something. Talking about an overcomer, I see you still striving.
Yes.
I see you still going. I read in your bio that you said you went to prison.
Yes.
Yeah, yes. Tell us about that. Like,
so,
what,
The gist of that, because time's sake, I owned a personal care agency. And May of 2005, federal government came in and they said that, some things were going on in the agency that was not but they paid for.
Yeah, yeah.
And basically, I accepted responsibility because I knew that some of the things were not right.
Yeah.
So what could I say? Because one thing about the feds, when they come, you know, it's no ifs, ands, and buts about what I think may not be right. Because what they're telling you is not right.
Yeah.
It ain't right.
Yeah.
So I was sentenced to a 60-month prison sentence, and I served time at 3 different facilities. Okay. Thank you, Jesus. That's all I could say. It was good to get out of place, because that is where I had the turning point of my life. I surrendered to God. I had to realize that I couldn't operate in Akasia strength. I had to go to the person, go to the rock that was higher than me to be able to make it. Although when you're a person of, like you said, of leadership power, you have all of this influence, you tend to lose sight of who you really, really are.
Yeah.
And God spoke to me from that jail cell, and he said, surrender. And I surrendered. That was November of 2010. My life has never ever been the same. Am I happy about what happened? No. But how do I feel about it? I took it as a learning experience, and it allowed me to grow as a person, because I had to realize who I really, really was. Yeah, I was the one that when somebody said, oh, my light's getting turned off, I gave them a check. I was a person that said, what do you need for Christmas? I'm going buy it. Oh, you don't have this? I'm going do it. But when I was in that jail cell, nobody was coming to see about Akasia but the Almighty. I left 2 kids out here on the street. You know what I'm saying? Devon was about 18, Nia was about 8 or 9. You know, I know it wasn't the same because Mama gave them everything. But my biggest concern when I was in captivity was, what about my babies? So God told me surrender. He told me write the vision. Habakkuk 2:1-5. Write the vision. Make it plain. Though the vision may tarry, but at an appointed time, it'll come to pass. Does that mean that I wasn't still gonna go through hell? Because as long as I'm living on earth, you're gonna go through hell.
But you know, they say in your weakness, you are made strong. In your weakness, you will go through a phantom in your life. So God can touch you and get you back to where get you back to where he wants you at, as far as your purpose. He will send a phantom. There's a lot of things that I think about in my life, my lifetime, the things that I've been through, that I'm like, Lord, what are you doing? What are you doing? I need you in a place that I want you to be, so you can live out your divine purpose.
Your divine purpose.
If I got to cause a phantom, a phantom can mean money, off your money. Your money don't be right. A phantom can mean you going to prison. A phantom can mean anything. A phantom can mean things that the people of flesh can't get you out.
Can't get you out.
They can't get you out. Because I want to talk about that. We talked about that. Like, what the people that were around you, the people that you took, because I had a group home for the elderly. So I know that field. And I worked for several agencies around that. And they have stuff where they had to pay back money. You understand? So this agency. Okay, all right. They had stuff where they had to pay back money. People were doing. You cannot monitor everybody when you have a employee base. I don't know how many employees you have.
A lot.
So you cannot manage that. Me being in that sector for developmental disability, I supervised 16 group homes. So you know, I was over 200 employees.
That's what I'm trying to say.
So I know what a fact where we used to get deficiencies and stuff like that. We had to repay, and this was
when that already come.
Time
sheets and progress.
The daily notes. Where's all this? And those people will actually sometimes don't know where they are.
Because they probably haven't done it. So that's my thing. So I accept the responsibility. Because at the end of the day, I signed a disclosure of ownership. Which says I take complete ownership of everything that happens with this company. So did I put up a fight? No. As the people would say from the streets, I took my leg.
You took your leg.
I left my babies out here. I had to come back to my babies. Nowhere can anybody say nothing outside of what it's saying.
And then know what I love about it? You didn't put it on nobody else.
No, it's called accepting responsibility and accountability.
Accountability.
That's what it's
accountability. I love it.
I mean, you got to go through it, right?
You got to go through it.
So at that time, I surrendered. I wrote the vision. I did what God said. He said, when you write the vision, put it in Philippians 4:13, which says, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. Not the people who you help. We ain't worrying about them. Stop calling your daddy. Don't worry about these kids. They're mine. They're mine. I got this. I did that. Surrendered. I did what God told me to do. I wrote this book.
Yeah.
Out of bounds. So how did I come up with out of bounds?
Yeah, tell me that.
Initially, I was at a camp. So the camp is more or less like a retreat area, like a college dorm.
Yeah.
So we used to walk, me and some of the ladies, we would walk, talk about home and things of that nature. And if you walk outside of that parameter, you are out of bounds. So at that point, in that cell, in the shoe, I knew I ended up here because I was out of bounds. This book sat Kree underneath my desk at my house for over 5 years. I was released in 2013 after I wrote it. I carried like a manuscript. It was just, and I still have it. It's all the original paperwork. Because I would get paper like if the guards came by the window, they would slide paper on your door because I was in the shoe, so I couldn't really make commissary like the people in the regular population, but they would give us scrap papers and things like that.
So when you mean the shoe, what you mean by that?
That's the segregated housing unit.
Okay.
Where you're locked down 23 hours a day. You may get to go outside 1 hour a day. The bed probably was about the size of that table. The room itself may have been about that size. Your toilet, your face bowl, everything is right there. The segregated housing unit, the shoe. You're in there by yourself. The shoe. So I knew that God wanted to get me by myself. He wanted me, the shoe. Segregated housing unit. And even sometimes today, it's funny you say that. I'm not reminded of the shoe of prison, but I'm segregated in my own housing unit.
Come on now.
Well, I had to learn that the people that I thought are not here today. I released that book March 31st, 2019. My baby died 2 days later. One of my goals for my children was, listen, I can't do nothing about the past. The past is just what it is. Let's move
forward.
Let's go forward. Give me a chance, and I promise you that nothing but death would separate us. God called my son home so I can do the work that he had me to do. Because who would mother you know? You're not about to stop doing what you're doing to go see about somebody that need their hair if your baby's sick, right?
Yeah, I'm not.
So that was non-negotiable.
Yeah.
So God knew what he was doing when he took his baby back.
Yeah.
I was mad when Devon passed away. I went to the same God who told me all of these things.
Yeah.
How you were going to use me, how I'm an eagle.
Yeah.
This was not a part of the plan. How could you do this to me?
Yeah.
Why not? He was mine first.
Yeah.
I surrendered. Tell me, what is it that you need me to do?
Yeah. And then your weakness, I'm going to say that again because that's all I keep hearing in the spirit, is that in your weakness is where he gave you the strength and where you were strong.
Yes.
In your weakness.
In my weakness.
Is where he gave you the strength and you were strong.
Yes.
And again, you can do all things through Christ.
Him. But I had to understand that.
Yeah.
Because see, when you influence, got a couple dollars, you got the click, so you thinking that God is like secondary.
Yeah.
No, ma'am, little girl, you gonna learn today. You gonna put me first.
Seek ye first.
Seek ye first. And then I'm gonna add everything else to you.
Yeah.
But you write the vision.
Yeah.
And you make it plain.
Yeah.
And then you put it there.
Because obviously, God has given you many gifts and talents and you're multi-talented and you have multi-gifts. To be able to think in that capacity, to be able to again, you talked about bringing the first Mardi Gras back to Westbank and talk about that, bringing the Mardi Gras back to the Westbank.
During all of this took place like right after I lost Devon, just trying to figure out my way out of darkness.
Yeah.
And somebody brought it to me that, Jefferson Parish hasn't had this, they haven't had that. If it would have been a recipe book, a cookbook, I could have done it.
Yeah.
But this was something that I had to learn.
Yeah.
But because God sent that phantom. So then I'm reminded of Isaiah 54:17, where it says, no weapon formed against me shall prosper.
Yeah.
The weapons will form, but they will not prosper.
Yeah.
So the Culinary Queens was actually not a weapon because God allowed it to form.
Yeah.
Because look what it did for the community.
Yeah.
Hadn't had Mardi Gras in over 30 years.
Yeah.
And here now, the Westbank popping with now 2 parades.
Yeah.
Of the Culinary Queens. So that wasn't a part of the purpose and plan that God had for me.
Yeah.
But it did allow something to happen that hadn't happened over 30 years.
Yeah.
So history cannot be rewritten.
Yeah.
And nor can it be taken away.
Yeah.
Akasia made history in Jefferson Parish, where I come from. After all the hell I've been through, God still saw fit to put me back here at 5600 Westbank Expressway, a half a mile down from where the federal government came in and took everything but trash out of my garbage can. So Genesis 15:20, what the devil meant for evil, God is still working out for my good.
Oh, yes, Jesus.
So,
yes. So you said, you right down there, and you own this building.
no. Yeah.
Yeah, you own this building.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yes,
You own
yes,
this building.
Yes, yes.
You own it just like I own
yes, yes, yes.
I don't know why I just heard that. I heard that.
Hey, come on.
You own this building.
Come
just
on.
like I own
Yeah,
Spice
okay. Everything.
Everything.
Got the dirt for.
And I see what God is doing in here and what he's doing with you. I met you don't even realize, but I had to realize when I came here that day, I met you through Fidelity.
Yeah, power.
I met you through Fidelity.
Yes.
I see you at Power. I was on the advisory board.
Me too.
You was on the advisory board at Fidelity.
Yes.
And then I saw you at we both were speakers at it was an all women thing on A Street in Harvey. It was a women's brunch for the.
It was with the dancer. Valencia?
Was it her name Valencia?
No,
it was. It's with a V.
Yeah,
it's a name we can't think of the
I know.
Yes. Beautiful woman,
and it was.
And she had models there, and she
was it a Mother's Day event?
Yeah, it was a Mother's Day event.
Yes.
Mother's Day.
My mom was there with me. Yes,
I met you there. I can remember because I remember the purple hair, the purple, and everything. The purple.
Yes.
So let's say this: you are resilient.
Yes.
There was a quote that you said before we get off. You know, we do our takeaways, but before we go into our takeaways, I want to just say before we go into our takeaways, make sure that you download us on New Orleans Talk Network, on our Google app, on our stores. Follow New Orleans Talk Network. Follow RedLip Talk Podcast. Come and visit Akasia's Café, 6600 Westbank Expressway in Monroe, Louisiana. If you want to donate to our platform, make sure to do that. If you want to become a sponsor, a guest, go on our website on New Orleans Talk Network /RedLip Talk Podcast and be a part of what we're doing.
Yes.
But before I wanted to say that before we get out the way, because I want to go into our takeaways. You know, we only have a few minutes left. But our takeaways is something that you tell the audience that in your life, a person that's behind this camera. There's so many people that think about that they want to give up. And you have the true story of resilience. And another thing just hit me just now. Where can they purchase this book?
So the book is definitely on Amazon. You can either look it up, Out of Bounds, just the topic, or Google Akasia Lee, and it'll come up. It'll come up.
Okay.
And they can come here and get it, and I'll autograph it.
And you'll autograph
Ain't nothing
right?
like an autograph copy.
Ain't nothing about it.
It's real. It'll be real. It's real.
An autograph copy. Okay, so tell the person behind the camera today, resilience. We heard so much about you losing a son, about you doing prison, going to federal prison, about the Mardi Gras crew that you started in Jefferson Parish. Is that still?
So the Culinary Queens it's a nonprofit. I would probably be honest. I'm not a Mardi Gras person.
Okay.
So would I do a parade again? That's something that's up to God. But that's not something that I would,
I hate to
elect
I'm
to
really
do.
not a Mardi Gras person.
I would elect not to do that.
Okay.
However, but the nonprofit side, the outreach side, the community-based side is still in full effect.
Yeah, let's talk about what you're doing before we go into your takeaway.
So
what you're doing for the seniors.
For the seniors.
Yeah.
We every year for the past 5 years we did a Toys for Tot giveaway.
Okay.
And I was sitting here last year and God said, I said, every time the kids get the toys, it's always the grandparents that's coming with the children.
Yeah.
I said, now what about the grandparents?
Yeah.
He said, well, give them something. And I said, how am I going to give them something?
Yeah.
And so I called my cousin and I said, this is a vision that God is giving me. And I'm just telling you, I don't know. She said, Kay, I love it. I said, well, I'm trying to think of something in my head that I could name it, but it's just not coming up.
Yeah.
And she said, subsidies for seniors. When I tell you, when we did the Christmas giveaway, when I opened up my door that morning, guess who had in tow all their grandkids? Grandmothers. So we gave away over 100 toiletries and household bags to the grandmothers. And that was my first community initiative through Subsidies for Seniors.
Okay.
So every month, we started technically in January, but April last month, we did 100 plates free to the seniors ages 55 to 55 and up, but we say 55 to some people that's 55 that's doing boots on ground. You're really not a senior. Let the seniors that really have the disabilities come and take part. So tomorrow, Subsidies for Seniors will be at Rocks of Ages Church from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. giving away plates again to the seniors.
All right. I love it. I love it. I want to shed light on that.
Yes. So the takeaways.
Let's talk about the takeaways.
Dreams. Everybody has dreams. Everybody has aspirations.
Yes.
Chase your dreams.
Yeah.
Put work clothes on your dreams. Because faith without works is
dead.
Dead as a doorknob.
Dead.
Okay? Dead as a doorknob. Never ever give up. And my uncle, sometimes I'll call him and I'll discuss things with him and he'll listen. He'll share things with me. He said, Keisha, never forget, a loser will always have something to say about a winner.
Yes. Say that again. You want
a loser will always have something to say about a winner.
Ooh, I like that.
And lastly, I would just say, live, live, live. You see it every day. People waking up and they ain't here no more.
Yeah. Today is today.
Live, live,
and live. I just thank you for the time you take out today for the interview. I thank you for your time, you sharing your story, being transparent to the people. Today, my takeaway would be always move forward.
Yes.
Don't look back.
Don't look back.
Don't look back. It's the past.
It's the past.
Always move forward.
Yes.
The people that God will have to be for you is going to be for you.
And
the people who have for me is going to be for me.
Yes.
What's that revelation? Go ahead.
I thought about the mirror in a car. Objects, I can't quote, I'm paraphrasing it.
Yeah.
That your visions are closer than what they seem. But when you look back, you can't see it. Think about that side view mirror. Objects in the mirror are closer than they appear.
Yeah.
Keep moving forward.
Keep moving
The
forward.
past is just what it is.
Yeah, the past is
The past is just what it is.
You
It's the
gotta
past.
move. You gotta move forward. Because if you stay in the past, you are messing up your future.
You're messing it up.
If you stay in the past, you won't. And guess what? This is another thing. If you stay in your past, you're gonna mess up your future.
You mess up your future.
Because whatever you say, if I say 2025 is gonna be a great year of prosperity and everything else, but I keep worrying about what happened in 2024.
Yeah.
My outcome of 2025 is gonna be like 2024. So you have to stay moving forward and not looking backwards. I thank y'all today. I thank you, too, Akasia, for having us here with us on today. Y'all, we gonna eat some delicious food. I wish we could have run out before we closed down a plate or something so they can see how great the food is. You know, y'all, I want y'all to definitely come and support her at Akasia's Café at 5600 Westbank Expressway in Marrero, Louisiana. Yeah. So thank y'all for tuning in to RedLip Talk Podcast. It's your girl, Spice Divas, the marketing diva of RedLip Talk Podcast on New Orleans Talk Network. We thank you for tuning in. Always tune in, view, listen, tag, share, invite, all those things. Thank y'all. We do a little thing. Mwah!
Spice Divas.